Hey everybody, it's Nathaniel Avila reporting from Dallas. And today we're joined with Ruby Stranger Things Mask Rodriguez reporting from south of Dallas. And then we're also here with Isabella from the University of Central Florida. How are you doing today, everyone?
Good. I don't want to answer that question.
You don't want to answer that question because it's so good?
I'm wearing a mask. Sorry that you won't be able to see all of my artistic expressions, but they're there. Hopefully, you can hear it in my voice.
Okay. Isabella will do it all for both of us. Am I right?
Alrighty.
Okay.
No pressure.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Ghostbusters 3, a spec script. And I think he only made 17 pages. So I'm guessing it's supposed to be the first act. So let's see how it is. Okay, so fade in exterior Ghostbusters firehouse outside day 1994. Crowds of people are all lined up at a Hook and Ladders 8 building for tours. This is the Ghostbusters headquarters. Lewis Tully is at the side of the firehouse ready to give tours. The Ghostbusters went out of business in 93 due to no more paranormal activity. However, there's still interest in the franchises. Out on the outside of the building, there is a little flat screen TV showing off other places they are located at. One such place is Los Angeles. Interior, a Ghostbusters Firehouse Lab, day 1994. Egon rushes in. A man in his 60s is looking for Ray. Ray is actually happens to bump into Spengler.
Oh, Spengler. Just the guy I wanted to see. I have this new equipment.
That can wait until later.
Okay, what do you need?
Follow me. There's this information I gotta show you privately.
Yeah, already I don't think we can film this because I think
There's so many errors.
I gotta show you privately.
Privately.
They exit the room and Egon takes them to a private room that only he and Ray know about. Interior, no period. Ghostbusters Firehouse private room, day 1994. I think they're supposed to be in all caps, but I don't know. Egon scrimmages through a bunch of files. He's acting very odd. Ray looking at Spengler.
Are you alright, Egon? You seem a bit tense.
Yeah, could you please be quiet?
Can you please be quiet?
Can you please be quiet?
Egon is still scrimmaging through some papers. He finds it, pulls it out, looks at Ray.
Aha! Here it is.
He hands Ray a file about Ivo Shandor.
Okay, Egon, what's going on? Have you lost your marbles?
Just
I
searching
think
for
we
answers
both
to life's.
No. What was that?
No, because my Google picked up what Isabella said and it thought it was talking to her. Okay, continue.
Okay, let me pick up. I think we both know who has if it's between us.
He then explains the information that he's been researching.
If what you're saying happens, this could be the biggest cross-dimension rift since the beginning of our universe.
You got to make sure you say it exited.
There is nothing to get excited about, Ray. Do you realize what this means if this happens?
No. Well, other than we're gonna be really, really busy.
You got to understand that you're not getting it. The reader is very, very dumb. So you got to spell it out for them. Egon, kind of getting mad at Ray, or not fully getting the idea, slaps him. Ray looks at Egon in shock.
What was that for?
This could mean an end of the world. Maybe.
Mabe.
More than just the Mabe. More than just the world if type of evil enters it.
Egon shows a word on the document. It reads "Eye of Tonement." Ray looks Egon.
What does that mean? I haven't found it in Tumen's Spirit Guide.
I think it's
Guide?
pronounced Tobin Spirit Gid.
Well, I've made a
Theroy.
You know how we catch coats?
Finally, a dialogue box with no parentheses. Ray adds that he doesn't quite fully understand what Egon's telling him.
Picture a fisher catching a fish, then only having to find a shark or something attached to it.
Ray finally gets it. His eyes widened in horror of understanding. That's a big Twinkie.
That could be multi-dimensional cross rift. Maybe worse.
Maybe worse. I have a feeling English is not this guy's first language. If it is, that's not good.
That's sad.
Egon paces. He's thinking, just crossing the streams isn't going to cut it unless there's more than 4 of them. Wrong form of there.
Remember how Vinkman wanted franchises?
Yeah.
Mabe in Leroy, if the evil comes and we have more than 4 streams cross.
Okay, so this is how I know it's not a typo, because he's been spelling maybe Mabe multiple times.
And Leroy.
And Leroy instead of theory. Okay. Ray, don't be stupid.
Don't be stupid. Do you know how bad of an idea that would be? Sure, if we could contain it, but we can't. That would definitely cause the end of the world.
Calm down, Ray. It was just a theory. Oh, he spelled it right that time.
Oh yeah, good job.
I mean, we've crossed streams before.
Ray does. What?
I think he means the ray calms down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so about the franchises.
Huh?
They wouldn't be such a bad idea.
Make sure that you're thinking.
Yeah, they could totally give us a helping hand with these timid things you've been researching.
Timid thing.
Hey, have you heard back from that rookie we trained back in 92?
Yeah, he's making the big time in LA. Maybe I'll go give him a call.
Yep. Exterior, New Sedgwick Hotel, entrance, midnight, 2014. Oh, snap. We jumped really a lot. The sky outside is pitch black. We get the shot of a gleaming glass building. A stranger is in the car. Interior, car. With a hyphen instead of a period. It's a black Cadillac with tinted windows. The stranger inside has a Ghostbusters-like jumpsuit and a patron-like pack. He has the car parked inside the hotel. Okay, I'm here. Okay, then, you know what to do. Exterior car. The stranger gets out of the car, gets a Pro-Tan-like pack, and puts on the black sunglasses. Is this night or day? We're in midnight. Why is he wearing sunglasses?
Midnight. Yeah, this is midnight.
For the aesthetic.
Yeah. Wow, this guy's a real...
Well, it's because he's using a proton pack, right?
Oh, right.
So it's going to shoot out. Yeah.
Maybe. I look like the men in black over here.
I look like Men in Black.
Okay. He then walks into the hotel. It's a newly built 5-star hotel. Interior, New Sedgwick Hotel. Lobby, midnight, 2014. Yeah, I get the year. The stranger then walks into the hotel where he is greeted by a frantic hotel manager. The manager called the guy on a late notice. Manager looks at the stranger. I'm sorry for calling such short notice. It is bad. Now, where is it? Oh. The thing is, the fourth floor, I don't understand how. This hotel literally just opened, and there's already, the wrong floor, but there already something happening in this building. Are you having a stroke, sir? Manager looks curiously at the manager. You mean this has happened before? Somewhere else? Yes, I'm so annoyed. Stranger now asked the manger, or the manger. Have you reported this to anyone else? I'm questioning him. Can't you tell? The stranger looks, he has just said something wrong in all caps. It looks like he is going to explode with rage. Are you out of your Asterix King mind? You do realize this is what got the old one to shut down. I'm raging so. Trying to calm the manger down. Sir, calm down. You're causing a scene. Oh, hey! One night in the manger. It's Christmas time. Guests turn their heads to see what the heck's going on. The manager turns his head. He feels embarrassed. Sorry, guests. I'm saying apologetical. The manager then explains that people have mysteriously disappeared for weeks following the opening of the hotel. At first, I thought I was just having nightmares. But then I've had everyone from the FBI on to look for the people, but to no prevail. I have a bad feeling something strange has happened to them, something strange in the neighborhood. If my name isn't Manger. Okay, sir, I'll go investigate that floor over there. Okay, be careful, Rick. I don't know if there might be a skeletons up there. Don't worry, sir. I've handled this thing on a lower scale operation. This should be no different. The investigator then goes into the elevator. Who's the investigator? Is he new?
Oh my god, what the heck?
He see a businessman hitting a button for the elevator. Going up. Great. Just what I need. I'm angry for no reason. Looking at the getup of the stranger. Are you a Ghostbuster? The investigator chuckles, looks at the businessman. My name is Investigator now.
Yeah, you're going from stranger to investigator.
Yeah, my name is Investigator now.
I wish.
No, I wish.
I wish.
I wish. Nah, I'm an exterminator. I'm exterminator now. I'm stranger investigator exterminator. Someone saw a monster up on 4. Hey! He goes into the elevator, looks back at the guy. Going up. There's wrong from there. Plenty of room. The businessman shakes his head.
You can get another one. There's more than
That's gotta be some creature. Nah, I'll wait until the next one. I thought I was inside. I guess I'm not. Investigator looking at the person shrugs. Suit yourself. He hits the button and the elevator closes. End scene, into scene. Okay. Interior, New Sedgwick Hotel, 4th floor, night 2014. This is in 2014, guys. I bet you, in case you forgot. He gets out of the floor, and you see a sign in blood reading, "Enter at your own death." What? That doesn't make any sense. The stranger looking at the message on the wall shivers in fright a bit. He, however, turns his pack and keeps calm. Well, I'm gonna fight. Asterisk up ghost. Why am I being censored? He cautiously looks around. Cautiously continues. He then sees a swirling portal. He goes towards it. No ghost. Where'd the blood come from? He then sees a ghostly hand come out of the portal. Whoa! Hey! Oh! What in the world was that? Hey! Just as he's about to close the portal, the hand grabs him. He screams as the hand takes him through the portal. He loses consciousness. End scene. Interior, Sedgwick Hotel, night 2014. Once the investigator regains consciousness, he wobbles up and realizes that there is nobody in this hotel. Worse yet, it's dark. I thought it was at midnight. Of course it's dark. The stranger goes over to a window, but then seeing skeletons, thinks twice about... What? You think by now I'd be used to this stuff. I'm also very crazy because I keep on talking to myself. He takes pictures of the skeletons on his iPhone. However, it magically turns off. Welp, nothing can go wrong now. The portal then closes. Oh no, he can go back now. He can go back now or can't go back now? I think it's supposed to be can't. Stranger looks up at the hallway. Hello. ... I'm kidding, also. The stranger then hears a ghost! The same one that sucked him into the portal. He tries to turn on his proton pack, but it is somehow sabotaged. The ghost comes out of the place it's hiding. It looks straight at him. The investigator is scared. There's nothing he can do from escaping impending doom. Before the screen goes to black, we are an extremely old TV. We hear an extremely old TV. Wrong from here. TV turned on, playing one of the old Ghostbusters commercials. On the TV. Okay, I think this is supposed to be dialogue. So you guys are up.
Are you troubled by strange noises in the middle of the night?
Are you experiencing feelings of dread in your basement or attic? Oh, basement or attic.
Then don't wait another minute.
Just pick up the phone and call the professionals. Call the Ghostbusters.
We're ready to
believe you. Franchises available soon. Call for details.
TV shuts off after the investigator is possessed by the ghost. We then fade to a black screen. Why was that there? The classic Ray Parker Jr. song in the background, the beats picking up. Boom, we start seeing white slurs of color. Boom, the original Ghostbuster logo appears. The title card appears after the logo, written by, in memory of Harold Ramis. How are we going to do that? I thought Egon was in the script. How are we supposed to do... This is after he's dead. How are we supposed to film that if Harold Ramis is dead? I don't know.
I think it's saying in memory of
Yeah, him. I know, but he appears in the beginning. How does that work?
Yeah, okay, I get you.
So,
I have no idea.
Interior, Ray Stans, class, Columbian University, present. So we're in 2020. Or a bizarro alternate version of 2020 where the pandemic never happened. We go into the techiest classes in the university. Unlike in the first movie, where Dean Yeager throws them out of the university, he has some respect for Ray and the Ghostbusters name as a whole. We can go into the room. There are about 5 people in the classroom. Okay, like, if I say there, just assume it's the wrong form of there, because he does it constantly. While a lot is invested in this class, it's still shown that not a whole lot of people are still interested in this class. Ray Stans walks in. He's an old man in his 70s. He's wearing a suit and tie. He looks around, sighs. Ray looks at his class.
It's only 5 people.
One of the students looks up from reading her book. She's about 30 years old, and she looks a little like Egon. What? Veronica looks at Ray, a bit sudden. Who's Veronica?
Sorry. The paranormal is an often avoided subject.
Well, that's a great half more than last year's. Buzzword agreed.
A guy in his 40s puts his iPhone away. He chuckles in a Venkman-like way. Oh, this is Chris Venkman. Venkman looks at Ray.
Wow, that's a lot of people, Ray. Didn't know you could count.
Ray looks at Venkman, not surprised, and acts as though he didn't hear a word Venkman said. Ray, now looking at his list to Venkman.
Now you must be Venkman's kid. He never introduced me to you.
Venkman under his breath.
Wonder why.
You gotta say it Socratically. Socratic. Very philosophical, very Greek classical. So Ray starts teaching the class on his chalkboard. Most of the class seems interested, taking notes in their notebook. End scene. We then head over to LA section of the franchise. The other only open operation of the franchise due to them expanding too quickly. They, like the New York, are in debt as well. Exterior, Ghostbusters, Firehouse, main floor, LA. So I guess they're only doing firehouses. And when they franchise, they only seek old firehouses. Okay. Day present. We are consistent. A man in a black shirt is conversing with a guy in a blue shirt and black pants. They are hiding behind a Ghostbusters firehouse. A stranger looks at the Dante. Who's Razor? Is it me? I might be Razor.
You are.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm Razor. Let me pull up the cast list again so I don't forget. Okay, I'm Razor. Look, we can't just give out our information to anybody.
Hey, look, I know you don't trust me on this.
They're on the corner while pedestrians are continuing about, not giving a care in the world. They move a bit more into the shadows so no one can see them.
Look, I know you're concerned, but from what I've heard about these guys, they seem like they'll do just anything for profit.
But what if they ... find out about what we really are? I'm referring to the NY.
Don't worry, we won't let them. They won't know what hit them.
Okay, let's go talk to them. I'm a little less concerned now. They enter the firehouse.
And you're a stranger now again.
Oh, my name's Stranger now. My name's Stranger. Oh, wait, the stranger comes back. Okay, let's talk to them. I'm back. It's similar looking to the one in New York. There's a huge party going on. John Razor looks at Dante, not happy. Now, how in the world are we gonna find them? I'm angry. Just then, they run into one of the busters Dante met a couple months ago. Am I Paul?
Oh, I'm Paul.
Oh, okay.
Hey, how's it going, Dante?
Dante shakes his head.
Hey, can you get one of your other crew members?
Paul looks at Dante with a bit surprise.
Well, good thing I've only had about 2 beers. This is about the offer.
Yeah, could you go get the other guys? And would it be possible to have a private room?
Why is it continued? He didn't say have 2 continuous dialogue boxes. Paul looks a bit excited at Dante, whispers to Dante so no one else can hear them. Okay, wrong form here.
Yeah, we've got a meeting room up in the next floor. I'll get the other 2.
Dante nods. He goes through the crowd to get the 3. He moves around the crowd, not wanting to annoy anyone. Paul comes over to Olivia Mann, a former 2005 model. She's, attractive blonde/brown hair, and is in her early 20s. Paul walks over to Olivia. She's listening to music on her phone.
Hey, Olivia.
He really tabbed this out. She can't hear him. He slightly punches her in her shoulder.
Oh, what the fuck was that for?
Okay, we can't have cursing in a Ghostbusters movie. because it's not that kind of franchise.
It's funny how they blocked out all the other ones, but not this one.
Yeah, all the other ones was censored except for this one. Hey, oh, it's your
Hey,
line.
remember that dude Dante who followed us on Twitter a while ago and said he could help us out?
Yeah, remember that.
Yeah.
Well, he's here. I told him to go upstairs and said he didn't want anyone overhearing us.
She looked at him, still a bit curious.
Okay, I'll get the other dude.
She goes away from him to search for the other Ghostbuster. One of her Toiter fans comes up. Oh, hey, can I get a picture?
Grandma fucker, I'm busy.
Dang, what? They would never say this in a Ghostbusters movie. The fan, offended, starts to turn away.
Hey, I was totally kidding.
Oh, that's a funny joke. Aha, why are you taking away my dignity like that? Oh, okay. He takes a picture. The fan then thanks Paul, then leaves. Thank you, I'm leaving now. Aha, you moron, you're mean to me. The buzzing
The
nose.
fan is Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, he's Mickey Mouse. I'll buy you for $1 million. I own you. On this phone. Later, this phone is buzzing. He looks at the text it read. Olivia on Paul's phone.
We're at the place you told us to meet. Where? Where the heck are you?
That's some bad formatting. That's bad show. He replies on his phone.
BRT.
Be right there. It does not stand for that kind of there. End scene. Interior, Ghostbusters, Firehouse, Los Angeles, meeting room, second floor. The Los Angeles team has agreed to the terms of the deal. However, there's a catch. They only know half of the deal. Does Disney actually own Ghostbusters? I think they do. Because they're
I don't know.
Because it was owned by 20th Century Fox, but then Disney bought 20th Century Fox. Okay, I'll look that up later. So Paul says
It's a Columbia Pictures.
Oh, it's owned by
owns
Sony.
it.
It's owned by Sony. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you guys need a ghost for this thing?
Looking at Paul. What was his voice? Yes, we need a ghost. One would be a start. Aha. Paul looks at his teammates, troubled.
Sir, I'd be in on helping you guys. Problem is, we don't have a ghost.
Reiser looks surprised. This is a joke, right? Dante here's told me you're pretty good at them. Ah. Paul still a bit apologetic. More like apologetic. High fives.
No, we haven't caught a ghost in our entire time as Ghostbusters, sir. See, business has been a bit slow, so...
That doesn't make any sense. I mean, people die every day, so you would think that there would be more ghosts. Okay, I'm just John now. So, why not and call the New York team? They'd probably be willing to help you guys out, even despite them living on the other side of the country. That's the end. That's all we got.
And that's the end.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What do we think? Initial thoughts.
There's too many
What
errors.
was happening? What was the point?
Yeah, I was lost too. Like, I felt like they were going back in different times for I don't know what reason. I guess they were trying to show how back then they talked about opening franchises, and then now they do have the franchises, I guess.
Yeah.
I still don't get what the whole jumping into 2014 was about. I don't know if it was just to show that Egon has died in 2014.
14.
and then just
Yeah.
jumps forward again. Like, I don't know where it was going.
Yeah.
Well, who was that? They never said who that stranger was that died in 2014, right? So I'm
Right.
assuming that was him. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. Like,
Yeah, because didn't they say in memory of after that?
yeah, but I don't
After the
think
film.
they was what they meant. Usually you put
It
the
was not clear.
usually what
Yeah.
they put in the in memory of is at the end of the script, but yeah, there is one of the cardinal sins in screenwriting is being unclear, which this is as clear as mud. So it keeps on time jumping. We have no idea what's what. Who is the boss of Stranger? I don't know. Um, also, Stranger.
We're the main characters. Like,
Yeah, we don't know who the main characters are. Um, we are introduced to the next generation of Ghostbusters. I mean, I guess because that's the next logical step if you're going
and the
this
next
far.
generation of Ghostbusters curse.
Yeah, which
Yeah, because they're saying that the kids are now involved in studying about the paranormal, right? Like
Yeah.
Egon's daughter and Venkman's son,
yeah, and
right?
yeah, exactly. So like I mean that's the logical step. I mean they're doing that in Afterlife, which is the official Ghostbusters 3.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's coming out next year. It was supposed to come out this last summer, but they had to move it to next summer.
2020.
But due
2020.
to COVID,
No. Yeah,
we hate you, COVID. We hate you.
yeah. Where I
Yeah.
believe Finn Wolfhard plays Egon's grandson in
Yeah.
the film. So I mean, it makes sense. But we spend so little time with them, we have no idea what they are or who they are, except very surface level
Except
stuff.
for some, yeah.
Like we know Veronica is shy. That's it. And we know that Chris is, I'm guessing, sarcastic.
Yeah.
We spend
It's a
so
cry.
little time with them, and they're not introduced early enough into the film. I don't
Or
know.
stay. Like, a time jumped again.
Yeah, and it just time jumped.
And then that whole like Paul and Olivia thing, like I'm not sure who they are. Like they supposedly, I guess, work for one of the franchises, but they don't get ghosts, or I don't know.
Right.
And I don't understand what the New York people like have to do. Like, what's their second end of the deal or whatever? Like, what's their motive behind going to talk to them? I
Yeah.
wasn't clear on that.
Especially like the guy's just like, oh, I'm sure they could help you, and it's like, help you do what? Like, you want to bring more, like, you want to create more dimensional rifts so that we have more ghosts to bust? Like, what?
Yeah. Like we don't really know what their motivations are. So let's start from the beginning start from the top because there is a lot to break down here. So we're starting with the fade in, which for spec scripts I get it's fine for the first bit, but after that you don't do that anymore.
Yep.
So, and then we're starting with the exterior, the slug line, which it then cuts to like an outside, but we know it's outside because you say exterior. You don't need to say outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
A lot of grammatical stuff happening there.
and then we say day and then 1994. Okay, that's fine as is if you never say it's 1994 again unless there's another title change. Were you raising your hand, Ruby?
No, I was motioning to my daughter.
Oh, okay. So another thing here is when he gets kind of descriptive about the background of Ghostbusters, like Ghostbusters went out of business in 1993 due to no more paranormal activity. You shouldn't put that into scene direction because you should only put things that can be filmed in scene direction. We can't film like the Ghostbusters went out of business in 93 just on that phrase alone. That's like a descriptor that you would write in a novel or something.
If they're
so-
gonna do that, they might have like they need to be like literal like articles on the wall talking or like on the subject of they went out in 93, and then you'd be able to film the article there and like hold it there for a scene so that the audience could read it, but like you'd have to write it like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's very good because that you can do that. That's how you do it visually, which is really good. Then we're at the firehouse. Okay, and then we're getting to Egon. We cannot film this already because Harold Ramis is no longer with us. We cannot film this. So either we replace Egon with Venkman, or we do the whole thing with a CGI rendition of Egon, which, to be honest, is not Plan A. It shouldn't be Plan A. So already that's not there. So also all these parentheses before the dialogue spots, don't do that. Just take that out completely. Let the actors act and let the director direct. You're just a screenwriter. And if you do stuff like that, it makes you feel like you're just trying to do their job for them. So, my question is, like, for you guys as actors, when you see something that's like that, how do you feel when you're reading things that are all parentheses based, and does it make you feel like you don't have any like room to like experiment or anything like that?
I'm okay with like the whole clear direction where they would want it to be, but at the same time it's also just the fact that like in this one in particular it was one mood 1 second, another mood the other second, and it was not much of like a transition in emotions throughout the conversation. Is just like in this line you're gonna say it sarcastically, in this line you're gonna say it like this, which doesn't make much sense because that's not how people talk.
Right. What do you think, Ruby?
Pretty much the same. Like I like having direction there because it helps with the like putting the emotion behind it, behind the line that you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
But just like Isabella said, like if it's gonna be all over the place like this and it's not gonna make sense, then it's gonna really throw you off, and you're gonna be like, "What? This doesn't make sense." And then it's gonna want you like it's gonna make you like question, the script, and you're gonna have to go back to the person who wrote the script and be like, "Hey," and then you don't want to be that person. It feels weird already to be in that position to have to ask like, "Hey, did you mean to write it this way?" So yeah, that would be weird.
Have you ever had to be in that position where you have to come up to the director or the writer saying like, "Did you mean to do it like this?"
No, I don't think I've had ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
because usually the director will just give you like if it's not in the lines, they'll just tell you what they want or like what they see for it.
Right. So yeah, like tone that down, like get rid of the parentheses. So let me see. Next, we're into.
No, I will say that I'm not opposed to it.
Right.
Like if there isn't any, because then you can kind of like develop the character on your own, and you can take it, the feeling how you see fit because you develop the character.
Yeah. So so now we're gonna move into the whole thing that happened in 2014 with Stranger. So the Stranger needs to have a name in this case, because if we're spending this much time with him, and he's a Ghostbuster himself, we gotta know what his name is. Even if he never comes up again, we gotta know what his name is. It's just easier to read and easier to like tag. Also, the boss of the Stranger, we never know who that is. He only appears from one line.
Yep.
So also he switches from Stranger to Investigator, which is also really confusing. I guess that's like, I don't know, maybe that was just something on his name. Also, he misspelled manager, and kept on spelling manger for manager.
Yeah.
Also,
The theirs. The theirs.
oh, the theirs. You have to
He was
know.
just spelling a lot of things wrong, and that's like in itself, like, oh my god. Like for me, that I'm such a stickler on grammar and things like that. I'm just like, oh, it hurts. It hurts.
I know, like that's why I know that it's not a typo because he's constantly misspelling the same word multiple times the same way. Like maybe he was on spelling it Mabe, Mabe, and and or using the wrong form of there and using the wrong form of here. Um, for like he's spelling like here Here instead of like here as in like I'm hearing something. Um, it's like things like that. Also, these transitions, the end scene into scene, we don't need those either. We already know that it's the next scene when you go into the slug line. Um, those are really mostly for like if there's gonna be like a fade in, if there's gonna be a fade out, a crossfade, that kind of thing. And even then, you shouldn't be doing those on spec scripts, only on production scripts, because that's for the director to work out with the editor while they're like working out how to film the film and edit the film. So we don't need that. Also, businessman, why is he in here? We don't know. The businessman on the elevator where he makes this dialogue thing between him.
I think he was just there to say that he was a Ghostbuster.
Well, we can see he's a Ghostbuster because he's wearing the Ghostbuster stuff.
I know what I'm saying. Like, I think he put him in the script just for that reason, even though we didn't need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, like, if it was something where, because he made it seem like he was mad to see him there.
Right.
So I don't know if he was trying to make it seem like the public didn't have a good overview of Ghostbusters, or they just didn't care for Ghostbusters during that time. I don't know.
Yeah, it might be because they might be thinking that Ghostbusters are bad, I guess. But I'm not 100% sure. Then we go into the things with where we meet Veronica and Chris, who are the children of the original Ghostbusters. Also, he needs to like spell check his stuff because he says it sarcastic instead of sarcastic.
Yeah, that part killed me.
Yeah. So we don't know a lot about Chris, and that's about it. And I'm guessing Ray is teaching paranormal psychology or paranormal something. But I just don't know. We don't know much about the personalities. And if they're going to be more prevalent in the rest of the film, they really should be introduced way earlier, like scene 1. But I don't know. And it should be a lot more like descriptive actions or like in like things that for us to know what their personalities are. Like I'm guessing do you guys have like any like idea of what the characters of Ray and Chris are like as people?
No, not really.
Okay. What about you, Ruby?
Sorry, I have to unmute.
Okay.
No, I mean, like, we barely hear them say like a line, so I don't think we can for sure say how we know their character is going to be. Like at this point, I kind of feel like I know more about Paul and Olivia than I do about those two.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, especially because their personality, I feel like, came out more like Paul's and Olivia's.
Right.
yeah,
Then we got the characters of Riser and Dante, who I'm assuming they're supposed to be like those two guys in Power Rangers who try to expose the kids from Angel Grove High to be the Power Rangers. Except this time they're like we think that the Ghostbusters are bad, so we're gonna crack this case wide open somehow. And I think that's what they're supposed to be, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yep.
And then we meet Paul, I think. Is Paul supposed to be another Ghostbuster?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and this one, did we read this bit? Where we see Paul, where he says that he's a bit high. He's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
how's he going down here?" So
Doesn't make much sense, especially for a Ghostbuster.
yeah. So should we be doing? Is Ghostbusters the appropriate franchise for having one of them be like a stoner doing marijuana?
Even
I don't know because I don't feel like he is a Ghostbuster. He's talking about getting them a room, like almost as if there's like a business. Yeah, because he's like, can you get another one of your crew members? Like if he works somewhere. And he says, can you get us a private room, like a meeting room? So I feel like they're not Ghostbusters.
It says here that they ran into one of the busters Dante met a couple months ago, and then it cuts to Paul, which I'm assuming is Paul.
Unless they're like totally running things like out of somewhere else, like I don't know.
Yeah,
because this is what I'm confused on, because like it's been very apparent that they have their franchises at a old firehouse, like you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
So would they be having private rooms and stuff like that for them? I guess for potential customers or clients who need help.
I don't know. That's the thing about being clear in this.
Yeah.
So
He said that the dude Dante followed him and Olivia on Twitter to help them out. To help them out with what? Because it seems like Dante's the one that's trying to go to Paul and Olivia for something, not the other way around.
Yeah. Okay. And another thing is the F-bombs. We know that Ghostbusters is not the place for F-bombs in a script. So what do we think about that?
Typically, I don't mind cursing, but like it's just not the right franchise.
Right.
Like Disney cursing, because like no.
Yeah. We can have mild cursing. We could have, that kind of cursing. Because in the Ghostbusters that came out, Paul Feig's Ghostbusters that came out in 2015 was a PG-13 film, and that's that they have those there. Heck, even in the original ones that was rated PG, they had their share of mild cursing in the film. But
I also feel like they'd use more words like crap and just like lighter curse words compared to just fucked, bleep.
Right, exactly.
Like he used only one type of curse word the whole time. I was like, if you're gonna use curse words, at least like use other curse words besides the one.
Yeah, I know. And that kind of tells to me that you're not that creative in your dialogue. But
yeah, there's also like more comedic relief in the other Ghostbuster scripts. Like instead of it being like cursing and that kind of attitudes, they have more of a like comedic relief when tensions get high and stuff like that, so that they don't have to use curse words.
Right. And also, because Ghostbusters is a supernatural comedy, and this script did not have a lot of comedy. That was not really funny, in the way that this person's intending it, and
yeah.
And so
if real like actual comedic moment for me, I think was actually when like the guy said, Chris said, like to, I think it was Ray, where Ray was just like something about his childhood, and then Chris was like, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Like, you were never there. Like, the only moment that was like a real comedy
yeah.
moment was sarcastic comedy.
Yeah. Oh, Socratic, the way he wrote it on the script. He Socratically said it. So yeah, like if you're gonna be doing like F-bombs and stuff like that, and you and you show this to Sony or Columbia, they're gonna tell you to take it out because the main demographic for Ghostbusters is also, in addition to the adults, it's also in the teenagers and the younger crowd. And if they put that in, it's going to get an R rating, and then the people who are under 17 won't be able to watch it freely, and that'll like destroy their chances of like getting back their costs in the box office. So you got to think of things like that. So yeah, I mean,
they're gonna toss in a curse word. It's like you got to do it like when the action's happening. Like if there's a ghost coming at us a corner, didn't see it coming, and then someone screams like crap, and like it has to be in an action moment, not just in casual convo, because let's just throw it in there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like it's just you're just saying curse words just to say curse words, which I don't think is really good. It's not that creative. It's easy to just throw in an F-bomb in there, but it's a lot harder to convey an emotion without resorting to that. Let's look at the comments that this guy got on the place where he posted it. So, the first comment on here, it says, "You spelled appreciated the way you did does not inspire confidence." That was the first comment. Because he spelled it appreciated.
I thought the first comment would be about the there's no cap.
Yeah. Well, let me show you guys. Okay. So
the first comment should have been, "This doesn't make any sense."
Yeah. So here's another one. It says, "Hey, this is from Pidginglish. Hey, so I read the first page. You may very well have a great story in mind, but you're going to have to learn proper formatting and technique, not to mention spelling." Yeah. "Before I'd be inspired to read the rest, your scene heading says exterior, so I don't need to see outside." Exactly. So in your action line, say they went out of business years ago. How do we see that on screen? Yep. And on that, and so on. Don't let criticism like this get you down, though. Everyone starts exactly where you are now. Yeah, that's true. Quick.
He was being nice and helpful.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. Probably a lot nicer than we are right now. So, quick take.
Well, that's because I'm not talking to this guy directly.
Right.
And I wouldn't even be telling him because I couldn't even write a script, like, to begin with. I'd be like, I can just tell you what I see, but I'm not going to give you the best constructive criticism because I suck myself. All right.
Yeah. So here's another one. It says, quick tip: try not to have a parenthetical for every line of dialogue. Yeah. And here's another one. Okay, this is what the actual author says. "Hey, look, I don't have a lot of confidence in myself. I know this sounds weird, but I can make a good story. Look, I'm sorry, Kay. Posted this off my iPad." So, do you feel sympathy?
I feel like he does not know how to take constructive criticism.
I know.
Even though these people were being nice to him, he should have been like, "Thanks, you guys. I really appreciate it. I don't have a lot of confidence in myself right now, but all of your comments and tips, will help for the future because I do love story writing.
Yeah.
Something like that."
Exactly.
Isabella, do you feel sympathy for this man, this guy?
No.
Oh, snap. So what if
it's not about sympathy. It's about no one's first anything, even if it's just a script you wrote on your iPad, it's not going to come out perfect. And people are just trying to give you feedback. You have to know how to take feedback, especially being an actor. That's one of the first things we learn is how to take constructive criticism, how to take feedback, because it's not about sometimes how you perform it. It's about how the director wants it performed, and that's your job to do what they want.
Right.
So it's not, you gotta take the whole personal portion out of it. Like, and plus these people are being very nice about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like one of the things that I learned, especially when I was doing screenwriting and letting people read my scripts, especially in when I was taking screenwriting classes, one of the things I learned is just do not fight any of the criticisms given. Just take it in and then just do them if you agree with them, or if you don't like them, you don't have to do it. No one's forcing you to do it. Uh, but the thing is, like, don't try to fight back on those things. Like, don't be like super defensive is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Especially like when things are based off of true stories, that's where things get muddled a bit, because you get so enamored with how things really happened that you don't think about how it would look on screen in a fictionalized format. Because when people say like one of the things is like, hey, instead of this thing should happen, this should happen, and you get all like, but that's not how it really happened, and I hear that a lot. Sometimes you got to do the best way the story is, and bend the truth a little. Unless it's something like so outrageously doesn't make any sense, like like one of the things I got in my script reading was like I made a script for class about 9/11, about a group of people who were driving back across the country after 9/11, and one of the things was like, why aren't the streets like filled with cars? I mean, it's 9/11, everyone's going everywhere. And I'm like, I don't think that's what really happened, because the streets were like completely clear because no one was traveling anywhere because they were too scared to go anywhere. So if things that are so outrageously doesn't make any sense, then yeah, like stuff like that. But in this case, you got to like be able to take criticism in stride. Like Ruby and Isabella. What if someone comes up to you, say, "Hey, read this script." Imagine you're like Aaron Sorkin, you're Tarantino, okay? So I give it to you guys, and you're like, "Hey, read this script," and you say, "I don't think it's that good," and then I say, "Oh man, I don't have any confidence in myself. I'm the worst ever." What do you guys say?
I'd go see a therapist because you need to work on your inner confidence.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with your script. And like, a script is just a story. If it immediately affects you on that level where you're talking about you're immediately hopping to your confidence or how you're down, and like, that's a you thing. It's not a script thing. And
Yeah.
you need to deal with your own things outside of this.
Yeah.
Because you're just writing a story. Not everyone's gonna like a story that you write, or then we could give you criticism about the story itself.
Yeah.
But like, it shouldn't affect you that way.
Exactly. What do you think, Ruby?
So you're saying that I would be the director, like Tarantino?
Yeah. You're Tarantino, you're Sorkin, you're like Oscar-winning scriptwriter.
I mean, I would just tell them that, basically like some of what this other guy was saying, you're starting out, you're not going to be perfect. I was not perfect. I'm sure, I started out, just the way that everybody else does. And I would say that if he has trouble, with the story, that I would suggest that he go with a true story. Maybe pull something that happened from his own life, something that people might be interested in, or something that you haven't never talked about, or something that people would find relatable.
Right.
That would be a good start. To start writing, and that way you feel like it's not made up, and you don't have to make it up, and it comes a lot easier. So that's what I would say.
So
And you should,
yeah.
And just to keep doing it, just to keep practicing.
You should find authors that you do like, and that you could get inspiration from. Like, what's the type of script or action play or whatever it is, what is it that you like? What would you like to write or write stories like? Have a reference board, vision board, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like go look at scripts, go look at other scripts that you like to see how those were written.
Right. And another thing is, if you have masterclass or if you have like some spare money you can throw in for getting masterclass, Aaron Sorkin has a good program there that he talks about screenwriting and everything, which is a good way to learn from like one of the best screenwriters out there in Hollywood. And we also have Dan Harmon has a couple of videos, I believe, on YouTube for free that you can watch, where he talks about his screenwriting philosophy, which is also could definitely help. Another good one, like a great way to, if you don't know anything about story structure, a good thing to do is look at the hero's journey. It's a classic hero's format. I mean, classic story format that can be applied to pretty much anything. It's been around for thousands of years, ever since the first storytellers out there. It still works. It can still work. Hello. And it still works. So if you need something to reference, just reference that. And there are other types of formatting that you can reference as well, but I would suggest you stick with the hero's journey for beginners. Also, there are also a lot of good screenwriting books out there. There's Story by McKay, who is like the quintessential essential book for screenwriters. There is Crafting the Character Arc by Ginny Jarvis, who I actually was taught under for screenwriting personally, which is also a really good book. Don't Kill the Cat, or the cat was killed, or something like that, is another good one. So these are a lot of references, that like a lot of good stuff for you guys for you to improve. So
there's also like this software that a lot of people use when writing that will, like, I forgot what it's called, but it'll put everything in there for you to fill it out, the way that the script is supposed to look.
Right.
I forgot what it's called.
Is it Final Draft?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think
Final
so.
Draft. There are other ones like Celtics, which used to be free. It's not free anymore. But if you have the money to get Final Draft, get Final Draft. Because no producers will ever take you seriously if you get anything other than a Final Draft script. They'll just throw it in the trash, like, without even reading it. So another thing is, the script is not a personal attack on you. You're not the script, and the script is not you. So when somebody criticizes the script, it's just the script, not you as a person. Am I right, guys?
Yes.
So
yes, you are correct, sir.
So writer of this script, we gave you like a lot of good pointers, a lot of good stuff, a lot of good references, and know that this is not an attack on you. I'm sure you're a great guy in real life.
Well, the only time that I would attack you on your script is if you're putting some really like racist, homophobic, sexist shit in there. Then I'd be like, what are you doing this for? Is this supposed to be this way? Because are you trying to teach a lesson, or are you just this way?
Yeah, I know.
Then I would have questions.
Or like a person.
Yes,
yeah, like, oh, Isabella gives it a round of applause.
Yes.
So
she's
like
right.
People like D'Souza, who does a lot of pro-Trump stuff and things like that, that's when I would say like, oh, this is you as a person, I'm not criticizing the documentary you make. I'm criticizing both that and you, because you're basically making a bunch of propaganda. And this guy, he's got like a multiple.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he's got multiple Razzies for worst picture because his films are that bad. But yeah, also we don't have to worry about that anymore because Trump is no more. Hooray!
Hooray!
Hooray! Did you celebrate, Isabella?
Yes, but mainly it's also just like we needed this as a country. And Biden's not perfect either. Neither is like his VP, but like it's a step that we needed to take badly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And I think
we have a lot to learn.
And we're going to put the pressure on them.
We have a lot to
gonna
learn from Canada.
Yeah.
So,
we have a lot to learn from Canada.
I was like it's so funny. There's a lot of these like little like Republican videos coming out about how like, oh, if Biden wins, we're running to Canada, and there's a bunch of people in Canada that's like, if you think Biden is like socialist or all this stuff, you would hate it here. Like, we don't want you here. And I'm just like, you know,
they have universal health care.
Those points.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are confused when it comes to socialism because of what they have, what they've pushed out about it. But it's like, there's so many things now that we have here that you use that is part of socialism, like, and you just don't even know it,
It's the lack of it's the lack of education for me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the lack of education and knowledge for me.
I would very much love free education, universal education. Am I right, Isabella?
Well, yeah, especially like it doesn't need to be this hard. We're all like, I get it. Like everything is a domino effect with every single little thing in our entire capitalist society.
Yeah.
But it doesn't need to be this hard to just get people human rights and food and a home.
Yeah.
Or not even don't need a crazy big home, just shelter. Like it shouldn't be this hard to fight for basic human rights.
Yeah, I know.
And help during the pandemic.
It's so sad, but it's so true.
Yeah. Like, I would very much love to not have to pay back student loans. Am I right, Isabella?
Yeah,
Isabella knows
this is
what I'm talking about.
I have scholarships, or else I wouldn't be attending college.
Yeah. I would very much
have the time or the money to pay any of that off.
Uh-huh.
I would very much not like to die during a pandemic.
Yeah. So, also, okay, so let's look into what this guy said in response to the author's, like, oh, woe is me comment. Reddit is no place for pity, friend. It's mostly full of biologists, and they will call it as they see it. If you check out screenwriting, you'll be able to access a plethora of help material. You won't gain confidence by posting here. At best, you'll get insight as to how others see your work and the drive to improve. Rather than post, finish your work, then rewrite it. You don't need to buy books on the subject. There are thousands of scripts produced works that you can read for free in PDF. Read, then write, do it every day. Good luck. Okay. What do we think about that? Huh?
That was even constructive, too. Like, he clearly didn't like the sass he got back for his comment, but he still was polite about it. And it's like, you still want to do this, go read. Like, this isn't... It's not an attack on your personal thing. He's like, this is just... It's about the script, bro.
Right. Also, the Academy posts the nominees for Best Screenplay on their website that you can read for free. So you can do it that way. That's another resource that you can do. Yeah, just
plenty of resources.
Yeah, that was short and sweet to the point.
Yeah, and also if you want to do that, avoid Tarantino scripts, avoid Cameron scripts, because he does not follow the screenwriting format. Let me tell you, Tarantino does not do that. And he can get away with it because he's Tarantino. He can do it. All the studios don't care how it's written as long as he wrote it. But even before Tarantino became Tarantino, he wrote in screenplay format the proper way before it became a big name. So don't think that because he did it, you can do it. Because he only does that. He only started doing that after he basically became what the name that he is today. So things like that. Also, don't think you're like Woody Allen or Aaron Sorkin who are like heavy dialogue type stuff. Remember that screenwriting is a visual format, and that you should always do things visually. Avoid dialogue if you can. So those are just some asterisks in there. So, do you have any final advice to this guy? What's his name?
Nope.
Any like words of encouragement? Because we did really lay
I'm,
into
I'm
him.
just like, fix your grammar. Just fix your grammar, dude.
Okay.
Just please. We have the internet now. So you can use Grammarly. You can use dictionary. Use thesource.com. Like, just use that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Just like those kind of things. Any words of encouragement at all?
Keep writing.
Keep writing. That's all we can say.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
So,
If it's what you love, keep going for sure. Like if this is your love, this is your passion, keep going.
right. So, yeah, would we option this film to produce it?
No.
I say nay.
As of right now, no.
Okay. Yep. So yeah, that is Ghostbusters 3 spec script. We talked a lot of good stuff, a lot of good educational stuff in terms of screenwriting and everything. So that is it for today. I've been Nathaniel Avila, Ruby Rodriguez, Isabella Bisbal, and we will talk to you guys later. Bye. Bye, you
Peace and
guys.
love.
Bye.
Bye.